Good morning, good day, good evening. My name is Jonathan Regan, also known as New Questions. I'm from Blockchain Education. I am the lead educator. If you don't know what blockchain education is, then let me just do this. Oh, wrong direction. Whoa, we're going that way. Yep. Blockchain Education is a cryptocurrency educational online course. It's a private membership community. We have a huge chat platform. We provide early and efficient entry signals into cryptocurrency, and essentially we teach you how to make money trading crypto. We've been around for a few years, and that's enough of an ad. If you want, you can go and check out blockchaineducation.com.au, which is our sales page. Today we're going to wrap up the last 7 days in our signals or call system, as we like to call it. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand select a bunch of calls or signals that our analysts and our algorithms have detected. We're going to talk about what happened in the markets. Bit choppy this week, actually, with Bitcoin jumping in and around that $10,000 level. We're going to talk about some of the cryptocurrencies that have appreciated against Bitcoin and have basically exploded in extraordinary ways. And we're going to talk about some of the signals that the educational department, the analysts, threw out there, and the sort of money that you could have made had you been a member. Now, if you're a member, hi guys and ladies. If you're not yet a member, go and check out our sales page, like I said. If not, what are we supposed to say? Since this is my first, like and subscribe, comment, leave a comment. Would love to hear from you guys. So you know what blockchain education is now. Let's go and let's jump into some screens and have a look at some of the recent activity. Like I said, Bitcoin running sideways here. This is not particularly the way that I approach educational training material inside the membership. I'm throwing up the RSI and the stochastic here. We've got some moving average bands and a bit of a cave here. Got a custom indicator. This is not really particularly going to, what would I say, reveal our exact trading methodology. I'm going to stick with pretty basic things. You can see that there was a bit of a trend running through this period here. And then we had a bit of a break. And that break seems to suggest that we've sort of gone into a bit of a sideways period here. We've expected this sort of stuff for a while, this sort of sideways activity, and you can see there was plenty of it in the last like 7 days. This sort of sideways activity is actually fantastic for altcoin trading, because when Bitcoin essentially runs sideways and does nothing, then a lot of the traders move into different cryptocurrencies. We're going to talk about some of those today. Let me break down what we do at Blockchain Education in terms of signals and calls. Now, we like to call them calls because sometimes an analyst is sitting there, and we have like multiple analysts all around the world in different time zones now. When they do a call, they're basically looking at a chart, they're looking at lots of different cryptocurrencies, they're applying our methodology, and they manually create a chart, and they manually sort of put their effort into it, and they tell our community. Alerts go out onto social media and inside the membership platform, and our members, if they're part of the hybrid trading system, are automatically entered into that call, and they just automatically make money. So that's sort of a manual way that is partially automated. The execution of the trades is automated. The creation and the discovery of the cryptocurrency opportunity is sort of automated by an actual real person. We call those calls because essentially the analyst is calling out an entry. Now that's a little bit different to our signal service. Our signal service is a proprietary algorithm that we've been working on for a long time, which just generally creates dozens, if not hundreds of alerts every sort of 1 to 2 days. And those are based on a proven methodology that we've been putting into practice. And we're going to talk about some of those today. We're going to talk about some of the calls today. We're going to talk about some of the manual calls, which is essentially other high-ranking members in our community who've come out and they've identified an opportunity and they've thrown that out there. And what has happened is subsequently those cryptocurrencies have gone up. So let's go back in. We'll go back here and have a look. Like I said, a horizontal sort of section going along for Bitcoin now. Now we're just going to jump into the call summary system. Now this is, I've got to scroll all the way up to the top. Hold on, guys and ladies. There we go. Right. So I'm now inside the Blockchain Education membership system, and as one of the premium signals and calls providers out there, what I'm giving you now is basically a snapshot. It's a bit of a delayed snapshot. I think we're doing like, what is it, one and a half days. We don't want to give away all of our premium signals instantly for free. If you want to, you can always, I've got to remember, this way. If you want to, you can always become a member of Blockchain Education. 7-day refund policy. You can try it out for 7 days. Check out the training, check out the signals, make some money. Been around 3 years now. thousands of students trained, still have hundreds and hundreds of people who are actively trading our signals every single day now, a lot of them doing it through our auto trading system. You can learn more at blockchaineducation.com.au. So what I'm showing you now is actually just a snapshot of the larger sort of call system that we've built. Now, the system is about 3 years old now. We're generating hundreds and hundreds of signals every single week. The ones that I'm going to show you now are slightly delayed by maybe like 1 to 2 days, because obviously we can't give away our premium signals for free on YouTube. We want you guys to kind of see the sort of results that we're getting on a regular basis. Now, these aren't cherry hand-picked either. These are just basically a slice of all the calls that are going through the system. I'm not even going to brag about the calls or the algorithmic signals that actually created the most amount of profit for our members. I'm actually just selecting a bunch there, and we're going to show up some charts, and we're going to talk about that. I just want you guys to realize that what I'm going to show you today is just a sort of a slice of a much larger system. If you're interested in making money with cryptocurrency, if you're interested in us doing all the work for you and finding all the cryptocurrency opportunity out there, if you're interested in working with professionals that have been doing this for years, who dispel all the myth and the misinformation, we're actually a bunch of professionals that actually do this. We look at the price action, we apply a methodology that actually works, and we throw it all up into a proprietary algorithm-based secure membership system that you can join, that nobody else in the world has access to. And we basically hand you opportunity on a platter. So if you're looking for a way to make actually pretty impressive gains in cryptocurrency industry, then I think you'll enjoy our community. So let's jump back here. Like I said, just a snapshot of what we're doing today. These are the analyst calls. You can see recently we've had a couple of, to be honest, the analysts are kind of taking a little bit of a break right now as we fine tune these algorithms. You can see that the results are actually pretty good over the last couple of 14-day period, although you'll see pretty soon where our, let's say, our focus lies. I want to actually have a look at one of these. It was AST, this one here, which was called 5 days and 20 hours and 55 minutes ago. It went 14%. We're going to go and have a look at that. Let's go up here, TradingView. I'm going to change from Bitcoin to AST. Let's try and spell. That'll be nice. Here we go, Binance based digital token. And I'm showing you this. Let's just extend this out here. There we go. That's giving you an idea of this sort of yellow zone in the background. This is the amount of time since the analyst called it. The analyst called it at this price here. I can actually go back here and just verify that. So it was called at 253 5 days and 20 hours ago. So here we are sort of 5 days and 20-ish hours ago. It was called down here at 253. And you can see immediately we had a pretty impressive run there. And it went as far as 20%. I think the system captured it at 14.62%. So the members who were part of the auto trading system, who automatically entered into the system, are actually automatically entered into that trade for AST, and the price basically exploded as much as 20% in just a short period of time. Now, like I said, the analysts don't actually require you to do anything. They actually go and find all the opportunity, they run the methodology, they apply the algorithms, they set up the call, they put it into the system, and if you're part of the hybrid auto trading business, it'll just go and grab a slice of your Bitcoin or your US dollar tether or your BNB, and it'll get you into that call, and then it'll exit you at a predefined nominated exit. So if you had, like I say, a 5 or a 10% exit, then you would have easily been able to exit. You can see here, like we would have entered you into the call around here, and after about 5%, maybe 10%, 15%, 20%, you exit all along the way. As part of our methodology, we always describe the idea that using these moving average bands, you don't want to be in the call anymore once it turns red. Get out of it. So your exit would be around here if you want to be conservative. And you might have decided to get back into one of the other calls in this sort of area here. You can see that it did another 17%. Now, none of this is, what should I say? None of this is kind of a fluke. We've been doing, as a company, we've been doing this for 3 years. And this first recap video is going to be a kind of a partial sales video. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm quite excited about you coming and joining our members. Now, we've had members who have been with us for 3 years now, and they continue to pay month after month, or they get an annual plan. And they do that because we're helping them make money every single day of the week. And when I say every day, I'm talking about every hour of every day, because we run a 24/7 multi-time zone, multi-analyst, multi-algorithm based signal system. We're not like a Telegram or a discourse group or something like that. We've actually spent probably $500,000 just building the technology behind all this sort of stuff. We track all the calls and the signals on a 1-minute basis. You can log into the system and you can see how the calls are going. Everything's all there. It's nuts. Go and check out the sales page video. So we saw AST, a nice conservative entry into AST, perhaps not the earliest entry, but certainly extremely high probability that you're going to make money sort of in that trend. We saw that it went about 20%. So that was one of the analyst calls, and that's why I think people in our community enjoy the analysts, because they're not taking chances and throwing out, hope doesn't really play much of a part in our methodology. The analysts understand exactly how to trade. They might not get you in there at the exact earliest moment. They're not sort of clinical or mechanical like an algorithm, but when they say, I think this is a good opportunity, this is a good trend, if you get in, or if you allow the hybrid trading system to get you into that call, more often than not, 90% of the time, it just goes up. And if you've got a nice conservative take profit level, let's say 3%, 5%, 10%, something like that, pretty much all the time you're going to get filled, because the analysts really know what they're going to do. Now, they might only do a couple of those every couple of days themselves. So between the analyst core, we have about 5 or 6 analysts, you might only get sort of 30 to 80 signals a month that are actually created by humans. And they're very, very conservative, extremely reliable cryptocurrency entry signals. The algorithm, on the other hand, it's just a volume producing machine, and it can get you dozens and dozens. They can get, I think we do about 50 to 100 entries a day at the moment based on this algorithm that we've got, and they're extraordinary. We're going to talk about those in a second. I want to talk about the manual calls, because for those of you who have been a member, and for those of you who are thinking about becoming a member, I don't always talk this fast. Not always. I'm trying to pack everything into this first YouTube video. But part of the training that I do, I'm a communicator, so I like to train people, and part of the training has paid off in the sense that we have some older members, some more mature members who we endorse, and they've become so good at trading cryptocurrency in the last 3 years that they actually put their own sort of signals or calls or alerts into the system for other members to sort of enjoy. And I wanted to talk about one this week. Let's just pop back into here, and we're going to talk about KNC. You can see it was actually one of the manual calls here. KNC about 5 days ago. Runs around about 19% or something like that, KNC BTC. Let's get past this, jump back here. Another Binance coin, because we've seen some great volume here. And once again, I've kind of taken the liberty of sort of, oops, going to delete that. I've taken the liberty of actually sort of putting this yellow zone here. I'm going to extend that out to the current day, the current hour. There we go. So the yellow zone, once again, represents when the analyst called it. So the entry was kind of in this area here. Now, like I said, wouldn't it be lovely if we always entered down here? Well, that's kind of what we do with the algorithm. We're not really going to worry too much about the algorithm. We're talking about a human analyst, endorsed member, somebody who's learned how to trade. They've seen this, they've let it go. Now the entry is here, a slight decrease in price here. Any time in this area was a great time to accumulate, and an explosive move. You can actually see that this area from here to here was a stunning 14% in 10 hours. And if you manage to double down and buy a little bit more down here, you're looking at like close to 17%. We had a couple of really great places to sell. Our methodology tells you exactly when to sell. We had a nice little sustained downtrend here. We know to get out here and to maybe to rebuy in here, get your re-entry signals here and here. You can see them over here, part of the algorithm we've got, and another fantastic looking thing. So multiple calls here. The KNC one went 19%. So it trapped pretty much most of this here and most of this. So there's a 19%er, there's a 19%er. If you managed to hang around for the full 5 days, I think you could have come out here, which means you would have sort of ended up with, what are we talking? Yeah, so 20% all the way. Great call by the endorsed members, part of the analyst team, another human-generated call there, nice little 20%, multiple opportunities to get out. Good, reliable entry, I would say. Well detected in an industry where, I got to say, there's a lot of cryptocurrencies that are declining in value very quickly. Just because Bitcoin itself is going sideways doesn't necessarily mean that the other altcoins are actually all going up. In fact, we've seen some stunning declines in value over the last couple of weeks. So good little pick there with the KMC. Now we're going to talk about EOS. EOS being one of the bigger coins. I think it's top 10 coin. This call came out from a signal, so it's an algorithm-driven signal. Came out around about 2.5 days ago, about two days and about 10 hours ago. Lovely entry by the algorithm. Went 10%, just an easy 10%, and we're going to actually go and check out that now. So EOS, BTC, let's go and have a look. EOS, BTC, had plenty of opportunity to trade this little monster, but look at that for an algorithm-driven signal. I mean, how many people are going to imagine that this area here, let me just adjust that. How many people are going to imagine that this area here is the place to get in after such a sustained downtrend? We see this downtrend, it continued a little bit further, and then it exploded, running 10%, nice clean 10%. Great algorithm entry there on EOS. Dash BTC was another one. Algorithm picked up that one pretty quickly. Beautiful entry here. You can see once again, pink Barbies, as we like to call them, NQ Blitz here. Lots and lots of setups. Algorithm detects it right in here, says, hey, time to accumulate, time to buy, get into Dash. And what are we talking about here? So 11%, 12%. Now, one thing I want to say is it's easy to look back at all these charts and say, wouldn't it have been nice 5 days ago if you saw that? And it's easy to imagine that we sort of, as a company, kind of look at a chart now and pretend that we actually called it. But in actual fact, we do call it. And I'm just going to, while I do this, I'm just going to pull this up. And talk about our independent timestamping. So every time we do a call, either an analyst call or an endorsed members call or an algorithmic signal, sort of an entry, every time we do that, we timestamp it using DigitalOcean's and our own platform and TradingView. We always stick, everything's all synchronized to UTC time. And what that means is that when we sort of suggest you buy a cryptocurrency, we all know UTC time exactly when we suggested doing that. If we say at 3:30, UTC time on this particular day, we suggest you buy this particular coin, this particular amount, and now our analysts or our signals or our endorsed members are basically saying wait. And we have a really strong feeling that because of our methodology that this particular cryptocurrency is actually going to go up in value, which is a great thing. That's what our service essentially is. I just want you to understand that we timestamp everything independently like that to make sure that you can't turn around to us and say, oh, you guys didn't really do that. One thing I want to say is our cryptocurrency chat platform, which is a secure private membership platform. Our chat system has 1 million messages in it, thousands and thousands of people in there, and that's also time-stamped. And when we generate a signal or when an analyst actually creates a chart, it also gets dropped into chat. So you can see in real time when these signals are coming along. We store it, we UTC timestamp it, we stick it in the database, we start tracking it every minute after that. I guess my point was that when we actually suggest a cryptocurrency to get into, it's all independently timestamped, it's all stuck in the system, and that's why I can sit here with kind of complete confidence. I can look back in time and say, oh, the analyst or the algorithm said this is when we should get into it, and now we can look at it a few days later on YouTube and actually see what happened. Now, of course, if you're a member, you get real-time alerts, profit notifications. You can actually log into the membership system and you can have a look at any of the calls or the signals or the algorithms or the analysts. Actually talk to anybody and actually find out what's going on. The whole thing is automatically tracking everything on the 1-minute candle. We're using the Binance API. In fact, we're using APIs from multiple different exchanges to track everything. So you don't have to wait, obviously, for a YouTube update like this. You can actually watch it in real time. And in fact, sometimes the algorithm will pick a signal and like 20 minutes later, it's already gone up 10% and everybody in chat's all just over the moon because they've been automatically entered and it's gone through the roof and everybody's happy. So I guess what I wanted to kind of suggest is these algorithm signals that I show you over the next couple of minutes, they're not flukes. They're completely and utterly 100% true. We don't edit our chat system. We don't edit our calls. We don't sort of hide the bad ones and sort of exaggerate the good ones. You can always go back. UTC time is the timestamp. You can always go back and you can see exactly how much it went. If we say it goes 14.32%, you can go and independently verify that by looking at when the call was created, when TradingView created the chart, when the whole thing was entered into the system. You can go back and find the exact 1 minute candle where that call or that proprietary algorithm signal was generated. And you can then extend forward and you can make sure that we're monitoring it and accurately suggesting that, oh yeah, it did actually go 27% in 5 hours. Good job, team. So that's just something to keep in mind. Let's look at some hot signals. God, I really love the hot signals. It's a new thing. Just, I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks old now, and the members are going absolutely nuts. This is perhaps one of our coolest features yet. Extremely cool algorithm the tech team designed. It just looks for aggressive, non-usual, let's say unusual movement in the market. It finds that opportunity and throws it into this thing with hot signals. Now, it's not just Binance, it can be any exchange. And ultimately, what we're looking is for a kind of a diversion from normality. If I say this particular coin or cryptocurrency is pretty normal for the last couple of months, and then suddenly it just starts going nuts, well, our algorithm will find it and throw out these hot signals. Now, the hot signals have been producing unbelievable gains, as much as 100% in just a couple of hours on high volume coins, where it just somehow, the algorithm just somehow knows what's about to happen. It can tell, it can feel the bullish sentiment in the market. Maybe it's detecting whales accumulating that particular coin. I'm not going to reveal how it works, but let's just say that the hot signals are actually really good. So I'm looking over here because I've got a couple of them here. DLT was one of them. Let's jump back in here and let's go down to the hot signals. As you can see, there's loads of signals here. I'm not going to bore you because all of these are basically profitable signals. I believe DLT was 2 days and 20 hours ago. Let's just roll down here. Control F DLT. Scroll, there we go. So 2 days, 20 hours and 51 minutes ago, you can see it went an astonishing amount there, 72%. So let's go and pop up DLT BTC. Oh, got the wrong chart, wrong exchange. Let's go and have a look at Binance where all the volume is. And once again, you can see I'm just going to extend this a little bit further because this is my little zone, so you can see that the timestamps all work out. So yeah, 2 days and 20 hours ago, all the way back here, you can see we have some more of those proprietary signals. The old pink Barbies going into a place. Algorithm detects it and decides, you know what, we think it's an entry time. And you can see that it went 72%. Staggering, really. You're looking at like a sustained sort of downtrend over a couple of days here. Algorithm pops an entry, and then we go the full 72%. You can see here, accumulation phase, we've got the blitz diamond, and then an explosive 72% moving up here. So once again, we're looking at an algorithm driven signal that's just right on the money, and these are the hot signals. It's hard to kind of not want to brag and try and remain humble, because as far as I'm concerned, as far as the tech team's concerned and our analysts, and I know our members, we're producing the best signals in the industry, full stop, period. Not just a few lucky chance signals every day, but we're now producing about 100 signals every couple of days, as well as dozens and dozens by the actual trained analysts, as well as fantastic signals in and out of the cryptocurrency industry. One thing I want to mention, and like I said, this is going to slightly longer than normal recap video because it's a bit of a sales message. The trading methodology that you learn as a member, and we don't hide anything, we actually reveal it all, actually works in other markets, in commodities, in Forex, in the US equities markets, which is doing so great. And so you can actually go and apply that. And some of our members are actually experts in those other industries. And although I won't include them in this YouTube channel, you can be safe to say that once you're a member of the chat and you get into the system, there's plenty of opportunity there to get great tips on other different things, stocks, commodities, Forex movement, and all that sort of stuff. So this particular algorithm that's powering the signals for the hot signals is actually really good in Forex and a couple of other markets. Just something to think about there. Let's have a look at another one. I think they call it MTH BTC. We're going to go jump back in here. Let's have a look. This is another one that the algorithm picked up. Manitha. Great little entry here. You can see remnants of the algorithm. Goes as high as 20%. Another easy run. I mean, we're talking 20% in a couple of days here. DLT running 72% in a couple of days. One that took a little bit longer to fire, BCPT. Let's have a look here. BTCPTB, Block Mason. Nice. Look, great entry. Look at this entry over here. Absolutely stunning entry here. 5 days, 23 hours, 28 minutes ago, a 97% gain, but there was plenty of opportunity to exit. Look at these exit locations. 1, 84%, 2, 83%, 3, up at the 122%. We know we don't trade this coin here, so the algorithm would never, ever actually do it. You can see evidence to suggest our algorithm was getting ready for an entry. Boom, 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 boom. There's the entry. Once again, like always, the entry is not a fluke. Lots of different conditions. Algorithm generated signal. Got our guys in nice and early. Multiple opportunities to literally make like 80 or 90% in a couple of days on that BCPT. Last one I want to talk about is DOC. I picked this up myself, actually. I was sitting in chat and I was talking about DOC, and I knew one of the other members was talking about DOC, and the algorithm wasn't really sure. It was a little bit undecided at first, but we did get that entry, which was 6 days and 4 hours ago. So let's go and have a look at DOC. DOC BTC. Once again, we're over on Binance, and you can see there was a period here where we were getting signals. There's your blitz, there's your pink Barbies. We were getting a lot of signals here, but it just wasn't doing anything. So the entry came at this particular point here. The algorithm got it right as usual. What was it? 6 days, 4 hours and 26 minutes ago. So I'll extend this up to the exact timestamp where we are now. So 6 days, 4 hours ago, 20-ish minutes. So just in this area here, and we can see that it went a good 80% here. Look at that, a solid move from the entry. Screams up here to the top of this candle here. Anybody who is setting up an exit along the way, and our system makes it so easy to do that. You can actually just kind of predefine what sort of exit you want. Maybe you're just looking for a conservative 3% on every single call or signal. Maybe you're like running for a 30% gain or something like that. DOC being yet another one. Now, I'll do a quick scroll, and you can slow down the video, and you can, I don't know, press pause and have a look at some of the other results that are coming out. Keep in mind that this is a snapshot. This is not all of the results. In fact, it's just a tiny little slice, to be honest. And it's not to the second. In other words, there's probably about another 80 to 100 calls or signals that we can't even show you right now because we've delayed them by about 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours, depending on what the algorithm's doing. I didn't particularly choose the highest calls to talk about. I didn't particularly focus on the fact that there's literally 50 calls that went up 10%. I just wanted this first video to kind of, well, firstly introduce myself. Like I said, my name is Jonathan Regan, also known as New Questions. I think I can do this. Can I? Oh, love this technology stuff. I produce a lot of content behind the camera like this, usually not wearing a tie. You know, I thought I'd dress up today. But it was a bit of a sales, sales sort of video / recap. This is the first one in a series, and I'm going to try and do this regularly. We're going to talk about some of these huge moves that we see in cryptocurrency. So if you're a trader and you think that you had to get into Bitcoin years ago to actually make money, I can tell you that's not actually true. I've taught thousands of people how to make money in cryptocurrency, and right now, as you can see, every single week there's unbelievable gains to be made. You can double or triple your money. I wouldn't say it's easy, but I got to say blockchain education is making it as easy as we possibly can by basically doing all of the work. We discover what's going on. We monitor the entire industry. We apply a methodology that we know actually works. We find you the entry on the coins. We tell you exactly what to buy, when to buy it. We have analysts sitting in chat who are sitting there ready to discuss the call. We built a proprietary system that costs $500,000 that you can just log into at any time of the day, 24/7. You can actually look at the calls that you're in and the ones that you're not in, and you can actually watch it on 1-minute candles and do all this sort of stuff. It tracks a whole lot. And even if you just want to sit in chat and chit-chat with some of the other members, we keep you informed by sending in the profit notifications, the call signals and stuff directly into chat. This is kind of Telegram or the Slack group or the Discord group that you wanted to be in. It's the ultimate membership system that's wrapped around a chat platform and powered by professionals. I'm coming to you from the Gold Coast in Australia. Usually I have a beautiful view. There's an extraordinary view of the Pacific Ocean. I've just sort of closed myself in. So it's just you and me and the signals. So I look forward to meeting you, but I really want you to come and join us, join the other students and get into some of these calls. The calls, the endorsed calls, the signals, the automated algorithm just doing its thing. And then you'll be able to see everything in real time and you'll be able to get onto these calls well before everybody else finds about them in the YouTubes. I'm new to this YouTube. So like I said, become a member, blockchaineducation.com.au, or if you're keen, if you're kind, like and subscribe and perhaps leave a comment, especially questions. We can answer those. We've got a full support desk system and we'll get some of our guys on that and make sure that we get back to you in the YouTube comments, or you can send a ticket to support@blockchaineducation.com.au and let me refine that, support@blockchainfinance.com.au, Blockchain Finance being the mother company. You go check out that corporate website as well. And I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Good luck. Cheers.